Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.
Hey, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Saturday Night Dialogues. It is November the 1st, 2025. Folks, we have a call that is going to shake up Dinarland tonight. This is going to be a very unique and different call than any other call that we've had before, but it was necessary in time to have this call. Let's get into some prayer. We're going to get into this call. I know some people are still coming in, but let's get right to business. Father God, we thank you. As always, we want to give you grace and honor and glory, magnify your name. Father, we ask that you to speak not only to us tonight, but through us. We ask that you lay it upon everyone's heart tonight to put aside their feelings, put aside their emotions. We ask that you give them the discernment, the gift of discernment, the gift of knowledge and understanding for what they are about to hear. We ask that you lay it upon anyone that will be affected in any way that shakes them to the core to ultimately make the right and best decisions that are best for them and their family. We ask you this in your precious name we pray. Amen. All right, folks. What I'm going to do, we're going to quick announcements. Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, as you all should know by now, it's now a read-only room. If you're not aware, that is where the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, that is where for the last over almost a year and a half, we started the room. We were almost 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, we were there. When I say there in that room, and that was the hours open, I don't mean it was just open for, us to just kick back and have fun, twiddle our toes. No, we were right there in the trenches, bringing forth the truth and the facts with receipts to the people that we were presented by Goldilocks and Wiley, myself, and the tribe, just pouring ourselves into the people, pouring ourselves into the tribe. That is Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room. There is a library of information in that room, but ultimately, the library of information that you're going to need to get prepared for the RV is Goldilocks Global Banking News, which is your daily podcast, whereby we take Goldilocks articles and we put them into audio podcast form and we bring it to you and break it down so that you can understand it and so that you can also get prepared. And also Goldilocks Global Banking News is several playlists, a library of information that you can access. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are going to hear tonight as it pertains to the fraud and scams that have run rampant in Dinarland. These we're going to present it to you directly from the SEC and the FBI. It is going to be in your best interest to get into Goldilocks Global Banking News podcast and Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room and dig deep to get prepared. Also, on Goldilocks Global Banking News, there are links directly to Goldilocks official page and channel. It is in your best interest to get in there. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, tonight's call, let me tell you like this. This call is dedicated to especially the seniors. Many of you don't know that the majority of the people in so-called Dinarland are senior citizens. They're the most vulnerable and easily taken advantage of. You're going to see that many of them and many of you have been taken advantage of. This call, I want to also dedicate this call to anyone who has been a victim of fraud. Some of you are a victim of fraud as it pertains to bonds, and you don't even know it. But you're about to find out tonight directly from the SEC and the FBI. All right. So what we're going to do, first, we're going to have Peculiar Ram is going to be with me as well. But before that, Wiley, if you want to chime in, is anything you want to add before or say before we get going?
Yeah, good evening, Freedom Fighter. Yeah, there's been a lot of things that have gone on in Dinarland. A lot of people don't remember a lot of the other lawsuits, FBI, SEC investigations that went on. For myself, this is the last time I really want to circle back on this. I know you and I agreed we didn't want to touch this. We wanted to stay out of it, but they drug us into it. So here we are. We'll give it to you. So you better be hanging on to the edge of your seats. I hope you brought your lawyers because you're going to want them to go get restitution from the people that defrauded you.
Exactly.
So with that, Freedom, let's take it away. Get into this because I know it's a lot.
Thank you so much. All right, folks, just so that you know, and you're going to hear me say this quite often tonight, Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. Many of your gurus have come to Goldilocks to get information, and they twist it, they turn it, and they put it into their channels. Goldilocks brings facts with receipts from the various agencies that are directly connected to and responsible for the revaluation of currencies around the world. Now, just so that you're aware, also, towards the end of this call, I believe Wiley is going to drop another bomb into the room, whereby some other lawsuits on some of your favorite parrots. He's going to drop into the room. You can review it, do what you want with it, but it's going to be there at your disposal. Like Wiley said, this is not something we wanted to do, but we with the shits tonight, folks. Excuse my language, but sometimes being nice and loving and showing unconditional love, some people just don't respect that. Some people only respect getting punched in the mouth. And we're going to punch a lot of folks in the mouth tonight, but you brought it on yourself. All right? So,
hey, Freedom, do you mind if I read a statement from the SEC this evening?
Oh, yes, that's
started,
right.
Sir?
Please do. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a very base level understanding for anybody to understand what's going on in this community. And it's going on day in, day out, day in, day out. The SEC states, making any false or misleading investment claims, whether for iron or any other security or commodity, is a form of investment fraud. It is illegal under U.S. federal and state laws, primarily enforced by the Security Exchange Commission and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. And 90% of the gurus have done that. And if you're parroting a guru, you're guilty of it too. And I hope you are not on that list and they aren't taking your videos and using them against you. They're coming. So I'll leave it with that till the end of the call whenever you need me, Freedom. But let's get this thing rolling.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. And folks, what Wiley is just read directly from the SEC, you're going to see a lot of guilty parties. But we're just going to get right into it. Peculiar Ram, if you can unmute my beautiful lady. Oh, there you go. All right. You can you can unmute, young lady.
Hello.
Hello. You had your naps?
I did.
All right.
Hey,
Now,
Wiley.
what I would
Oh, Wiley's getting himself together.
Hey, good evening, Kelly Rand.
How you doing, Wiley?
I'm doing good. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah. Good. You too.
What I would love for you to do, young lady, if you can read what I just dropped into the room about familiar terms that folks are going to hear tonight directly from the SEC and the FBI. This goes along with what Wiley just shared with you all, folks, from the SEC. Now, if you don't know who the SEC is, we're going to explain it to you very briefly in a moment. But go ahead.
Familiar terms you will hear tonight from the SEC, the FBI, historical bond fraud investigation. Terms like historical bonds, redeeming bonds, redemption center, and redeeming platforms, NDA, promissory notes, bonds paying off world debt, and bonds funding the GCR.
Thank you, beloved. Folks, these terms are in the actual criminal investigation by the SEC and the FBI into certain gurus that have now been charged and convicted. Now, you're not going to, some of you may or may not recognize names because it's going to be their government names that we're going to show you directly from the SEC in this criminal charge and conviction. But it is these terms: historical bonds, redemption centers, redeeming bonds, bonds funding the G. You're going to see all of this in the investigation. So brace yourselves. But first, I want to share with you, speaking of the SEC, going back to November 2021, when Goldilocks started to post about the SEC. Goldilocks has been preparing you all, letting everyone know that it is the SEC that governs and regulates currencies and bonds. So over almost 831 times in the last almost 5 years, Goldilocks has posted about the SEC. Now, what role does the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, what is their role with bonds? The SEC regulates bonds by overseeing their sale and trading to ensure fair, orderly, and transparent markets, while its role for currencies is more indirect, focusing on fraud prevention in the areas of Forex, rather than direct regulation of the Forex market itself. For both, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission's primary goals are protecting you, the investors, and ensuring market stability through enforcement of federal securities laws. Folks, bonds and currencies are considered securities. That's why they are regulated by the Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC. The SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, they operate sort of like a forensic financial crimes division where they investigate any fraud related to currencies, bonds, or any other financial instruments. And what they do as far as enforcement, they utilize the premier law enforcement agency of the federal government in order to execute the enforcement. What is that agency? The FBI. Have you ever heard of it? The Federal Bureau of Investigation. Have you? The SEC and the FBI have been investigating several fraud cases in Dinarland. The one you're going to hear from tonight is a company that started itself in 2010. These gurus started this company and used it to defraud people out of millions of dollars. They got comfortable. 2010, they started the company. They started buying bonds, so-called bonds, historical bonds, reselling, selling them. You're going to see all the details tonight. What the SEC did is they used, of course, their brother, the FBI, to tap phones, to monitor electronic devices, monitor chat rooms, bug in-person meetings, tracking and tracing these fools. So they started in 2010. 2017, the investigation began by the SEC. 6 years later, 2023, the FBI had a warrant, went and knocked on their door, probably kicked it down, and swooped up all of these gurus that defrauded people out of millions of dollars behind historical bonds. And we're going to share it with you tonight. We're going to drop these receipts right for you.
Can't wait.
Bonds. Regulation of issuance and trading. The SEC oversees the issuance and trading of bonds. These historical bonds, folks, that y'all been told that are going to fund the GCR. What if in this investigation and criminal conviction, it talks about that? Bonds and the GCR. I'm not going to give you all the goods because you're going to see it for yourself tonight. Now, what I want to do before we get into all of this, there's two beautiful people, several beautiful people, but two in particular that I'm going to bring to the microphone. First, it's going to be glass half full. Folks, several people from the tribe, we shared this information on this criminal conviction several days ago in order to prepare for this call. And I would love for them, I'm going to shut my mouth, my cheesecake pie hole mouth, and allow the Miss Glass Half Full, if you can unmute. Folks, see, you're going to hear from people that are the people. And this is the power. We're going to give you back your power tonight, folks. See, Goldilocks, Wiley, and myself, it was all about what we were doing and sharing the facts, and the truth is to empower you, the people. There's no other place where the people can rise up and speak up and represent themselves and their families and the facts that they've been able to benefit from. The people you're going to hear from tonight already are set with their bankers, already set and ready for the RV. And you're going to see a big contrast between them and for those of you who've been told to wait on a notification to go to a redemption center, you're going to see what the FBI and the SEC says about redemption centers. Glass half full. My amazing glass half full. If you don't mind, if you can come to the mic, please.
I am here.
How
are you? How is everybody?
Doing
Hello.
fantastic.
Hey, Peculiar Ram Wiley.
It's
Lady
so good to hear your voice. Yes, it's been so long.
It has been a long time.
Yes.
So.
What I would love for you to do, and your infinite wisdom. Did you read all of the 33 pages?
I read every page.
Ooh,
and I had my my highlighter. It was very busy.
What I would love for you to do is to give a brief summary of what people can expect. And just so you know, I'm gonna come back to you and Brunette Grant and then also Ty Too Pretty, Zach Amber, Lady Unique, and Sniper. I'm gonna come back to you after we go over this, but I would love for you to, if you can tell the people what they are going, it's an idea of what they're going to, what they can expect from this tonight.
I think I will do like a cliff note of what transpired in this complaint.
Perfect.
Okay. The plaintiffs, which are the people that brought the suit, is the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is the government. And there is a defendants list of about 9 defendants. Some are individuals and some are entities that comprise of these individuals. They allege and charge a fraudulent offer of and sale of defaulted or unredeemed bonds that were disavowed since about 1950. They also allege misleading statements to investors and falsely claim enormous proceeds up to $15 million with an advance payment of $250,000. They suggested that there was a redemption process that was a sham. Those are exact words in the complaint. And they did not register any of these transactions with the commission. Then they also had them sign, many of their customers, NDAs, which is a non-disclosure agreement, to not communicate or copy the redemption process to any third parties or notify the SEC of anything that was transpiring. They had NDAs with supposedly the Treasury Department, but throughout this complaint, they emphasized the redemption process and that it would result in a global currency reset. And throughout the complaint, they kept emphasizing that the fraudulent redemption process was a sham.
And that's
that?
the exact words. Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
And
okay.
and it's a sham. Who is that? Your words, my words, or the words of the S?
That was written in a legal complaint.
By who?
The SEC. The
It's
government.
a sham. The government. Yep. Thank you, beloved.
Hey, Freedom, can we touch on a couple of things?
Uh-huh.
Disavowed. Bonds disavowed since 1950. Also, does what they did mirror exactly what gurus are doing right now? Oh,
Yes.
don't go talk to them.
Absolutely.
You can't.
Yep.
We're going to make you sign an NDA. Oh, you're going to have callback. Fear, and fear to get people to do what's best for them.
Control.
All right. I'm going to tune back out, but I think that's important.
Okay. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, my beautiful glass full. And we'll come back to you, glass half full, afterwards, so you can give your you can have the floor.
Okay, got it.
Thank you so much.
Soon. Okay.
All right, appreciate you. See, folks, this is and glass half full. If you can come back to the mic real quick, if you don't mind, glass half full.
Sure.
Aren't you completely set with your relationship with bankers, ready for the RV?
Oh yeah, I have been for a long time, for months and months and months, and I have 2 all set. One contingency if I need an extra boost, and I interviewed a lot, and I'm set.
I just wanted folks to know because they may not be aware. So folks, and the people you're going to hear from tonight, these are people that are all completely set, and you're going to find out that you're far behind waiting for redemption centers that and redeeming processes that the SEC directly says is a sham. But don't take our word for it. We're going to take you right to the source and show you yourself. All right. The amazing, beautiful brunette Grant. If you can please come to the microphone real quick, young lady.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mrs. Cheesecake.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Peculiar Ram and the tribe.
Doing very well. Very well. Thank you. Good to hear your voice too, young lady.
Nice to hear you too.
Yes. Now, if you can give a brief summary as well on what you saw and what the people can expect that we're going to cover tonight from this criminal complaint and conviction.
Okay, so what it was is when the SEC filed those charges in the U.S. District Court, there were 8 to 9 defendants that was running a multi-million-dollar defunct historical bond scam.
And that's that. Whose language is that?
That's the SEC. And they had violated several anti-fraud provisions on the Security Act of 1934. Now, they also sold promissory notes and partnerships tied to the same false bond claims. Now, they claim to have had a redemption process that they told investors that if you buy these bonds for $5,000, you'll get a $2,000 or $250,000 advance up front. while waiting for the total payout of $15 million. Of course, none of that redemption process was ever carried out. Never carried out. And the reason why is because all that money went to a paymaster's account. Okay? They always promised. These people eventually kept asking, okay, where's the money? Where's the money? Oh, it's been a delay. Has anybody heard that before? There's been a delay, or there's a holiday coming up. There's a 3-day weekend coming up. So the last one that was told was, well, our paymaster just coming back from Hong Kong with the money now. Okay, so it'll take him a couple of days to get back, but he will definitely be here with the funds. And then when after that time was over and was up, then he had to come up with something else. So
and we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, and what he did was in God's timing. In God's timing, and I'm under a gag order, so I can't say anything else.
That's what he said. And folks, you're gonna see you're gonna see this tonight. You're gonna hear some of the very similar terms, statements, gag order, NDA, historic bonds. The FBI was watching the SEC the whole entire time. See, they thought they were going to get away with it.
Yep.
Nobody.
And that company you was talking about that mentioned earlier that they was running out of, that's called the HAPS LLC. That's Historic Asset Placement Services. And it was also running under two firms, Sovereign Debt Solutions and Ocean Park Partners.
Right. So they tried to shelter themselves with a Nevada corporation and other things. Folks, let me tell you something. They defrauded 85 investors. You're going to see it out of $4 million. Now just think, there's only 85. But just imagine all these platforms with large platforms, meaning social platforms and rooms that many of your favorite gurus have. If you think these little itty bitty folks couldn't get away with it, don't think your big brother guru daddy's going to get away with it either. Thank you, beautiful BullionNet Graham. Appreciate it. We'll come back to you as well. Okay, all right, folks. Now, real quick. SEC and FBI investigation, folks. These are what I want you to do. These are key terms you also want to hear tonight. I want to preface so you'll know who's who in the zoo. The prosecutors is the SEC, along with the FBI for law enforcement. The defendants and the prosecutors are the lawyers for the SEC that brought this suit against these wannabe gurus. The defendants. So when you hear defendants and you hear HAPS, that's these gurus. Those are the defendants because they had to defend themselves in court, and their attorneys didn't do a good job. I hope you brought your attorneys tonight, though.
Hope so.
Affiliates. These are the people who assisted and work with the gurus. You know, the admins. You know, those co-conspirators. And then for the investors, who are the investors or the clients? That's you. You are the investors. You are the clients. So when you hear these terms tonight, it's going to be hitting home. Now, what we're going to do is share with you all just a quick little something. This is not the full thing. This is the preview of what we're going to share. The details is going to be very damaging. Very damaging. This is a link to the SEC. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to read it all. I'm only going to read the first few very important parts of this. Now, pay very close attention to what I'm about to share. This is, if you're following, you can click the link, follow along, or look at the screenshot. As BullionNet Grant said, Historical Asset Placement Services Global LLC. That's the name. HAPS is the acronym. HAPS. Historic Asset Placement Services that's the name of the company they created. But the most important part shows the U.S. and Securities and Exchange Commission litigation. Folks, this was December the 17th of 2024, less than a year ago. See, again, they started this company in 2010. The investigation by the SEC and the FBI started in 2017. 6-year investigation to 2023. Knock, knock. Who's there? FBI. Huh? What? Run. Didn't work. That was 2023. About a year later, 2024, they got hit with charges. And convicted. Right now, they're waiting sentencing. But the terms you're going to hear, it was all under historical bonds, folks. Selling historical bonds, reselling historical bonds. That was December 2024. Now, here's what Brunette Grant said. The SEC charges defendants in multi-million-dollar historical bonds scam. It continues. And folks, this is not even we haven't gotten to the good part. This is just the preview. And it continues. Fraud-based. This is what the SEC is charging. Fraud based on non-existent process for redeeming bonds issued by the German, China, and Russia governments. So, have you ever heard of German bonds before, ladies and gentlemen? Have you ever heard of yellow dragons or any other bonds that are coming from supposedly the Chinese government? What did the SEC say? Fraud based on non-existent process of redeeming bonds issued by the German, China, and Russia governments. Now let's skip all the way down to the very last sentence. Folks, this is very important for you to understand right now. It's the next screenshot. All the way down to the bottom, the last sentence of this preview said, any person, just think of a hotline. If someone commits a crime in the neighborhood and they come up with a hotline, if anyone has seen, this is the person's description that's committed this crime, call this number. Folks, SEC, any person with information related to this matter may contact the SEC staff by sending an email to, listen to the email address, enf-historicalbonds@sec.gov. What? You mean to tell me the SEC has a whole department focused on historical bond fraud?
Wow.
Sounds like a lot of historical bond fraud going on, especially in Dinarland. And they even provide the telephone number to the division for historical bonds that are being sold to unsophisticated, unwilling investors. 202-551-5022. If your attorney's on this call, now you have the contact information to the SEC. Folks, a lot of you are going to need this email address and this telephone number. I would imagine that many of you have been sold historical bonds. But you're about to find out what the real deal is on those historical bonds that you were told are going to fund the RV, that you were told are going to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Not even my words. Now, brace yourselves, folks, because now we're going to get into the full gamut of this situation, this fraud, this sham. This is not my words. This is not my opinion. This is not high-level contact sources telling you this. This is the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, the federal government that uses the FBI to put those cold metal bracelets on your wrist when you commit crimes.
And this
folks, go ahead.
Freedom. And this is public information, correct?
Public, 1,000%.
So for people who are saying that, what they're showing is fake. Oh, it can't be. This is fake. This is AI. Look it up. Look it up.
So if anyone is saying that, this is right directly to the SEC. We'll provide you the links. You can go right to it. As a matter of fact, why don't you call the SEC? The telephone number's right there. The email address is right there. And folks, you can look up. This is court documents. You can look it up. As a matter of fact, anyone want to talk about anybody want to talk about AI and it's made up? Wait until you see what Wiley drops at the end of this call.
Yeah, just wait.
On some of y'all favorite gurus. Now, for those of you who want to claim AI, what you want to claim? Want to claim deep fakes like the liberals do? Is that what you want to do?
Exactly. Don't start.
Folks, if y'all want to do that, this is actual court documents. As a matter of fact, let's go right into it.
Yep. Come on.
The link I just shared with you from SEC. Let's go and get the name. This shows the prosecuting attorneys. Is this AI? Prosecuting attorney Orrin Glake. This is his bar number right there. 4460135. Public information. His email address at the SEC, and then the other attorney Douglas Miller. His bar address. His bar number as a general counsel. His email address for the SEC. And who are the attorneys for the plaintiff?
Securities and Exchange Commission.
Security and Exchange Commission. Their address, their telephone number. Y'all want to claim AI on this?
Exactly.
See, this is what see. Let me tell y'all something. For those of you who claim this is AI and just made up, now you see, y'all took the bait. Over the last 2 weeks, we dropped the information from the OIG and the SEC and the U.S. Department of Treasury. You don't think I intentionally didn't drop the links? I did that on purpose. Wanted you to go ahead and rear your ugly head out on the internet and make these claims about AI, make all the see. You don't know how old Freedom. You thought Freedom Fighter was a fool, huh? No.
We not like you.
No, folks. You claim all that. Now you claimed all the AI and it's fake. Now we show you the act. This is not just the only one. There's many. This is just for tonight. Now, Securities and Exchange Commission, plaintiff, and folks, the case number 224 CV 10745. You can put that in Google and pop it up. It'll pop up right for you.
Literally, and I did it.
See?
Just to do it.
It's public information, folks. The SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, the plaintiff, Historical Asset Placement Services. I'm not going to keep repeating the name. For the sake, I'm going to call them defendants. Because again, like I said, defendants, because they're gurus. Now, we're going to go right into it. Right to plaintiff number one. For those following along, brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. You might need a glass of wine or a Jack Daniels tonight. Number one, plaintiffs, Securities and Exchange Commission. We're going to go to number two. It gets right into it. Defendants, meaning gurus. Remember, the defendants in this case are these gurus who sold these historical bonds to all these people. Defendants have directly or indirectly made use of the means or instrumentalities of interstate commerce, of the mails or the facilities of a national securities exchange in connection with the transactions, acts, practices, and courses of business alleged in this complaint. Folks, interstate commerce. This is where you get into a lot of trouble. Have you ever heard of Diddy, RICO, interstate commerce, transporting, using electronic devices to commit felonies? That's interstate commerce. Federal crimes. And we're going to explain, and the SEC, and they're going to show you tonight. It's going to show where many of you have committed felonies. I'm not even going to tell you how you've done it until we get to it, because it shows you right here in this lawsuit, this complaint, this conviction by the SEC for these gurus. Many of you gurus, speaking of Diddy, if your last name is Johnson, change it to Change your first name to Johnson because you're going to get some baby oil. Johnson and Johnson all up in prison, folks. Now, they're going to skip down to number three. The venue, meaning the place where these people conducted their fraud. Venue is proper in the court pursuant to Securities Act, Section 22A, in this Exchange Act, Section 27, because acts, practices, and courses of business constituting violations alleged herein have occurred within the jurisdiction of the United States District Court of the Central District of California, including the solicitation of investors. Folks, you are the investors. You are the clients. Remember, I told you to remember who you are. Remember the terms, including the solicitation of investors. So they solicited investors to invest in these historical bonds. Then it says, many of whom reside in this district, meaning California. Let's skip down to the summary. Page 2, the summary. This civil enforcement action concerns the fraudulent offer and sale of defaulted and unredeemed bonds issued by the German, Russia, and China governments, quote, the historical bonds. This action also involves the fraudulent and unregistered offer and sale of promissory notes and limited partnerships interests, the value of which was tied to historical bonds. So, folks, remember this fraudulent offer and sale of German, China bonds. Have you ever heard that before? Have you ever heard about German bonds being sold? Have you ever heard about China bonds? Yellow dragons, polka dot dragons, green, rainbow, pride dragons. Have you ever heard of them? I'll continue.
Oh, they have.
As the SEC says, as part of the fraudulent scheme, the gurus / defendants promoted a fictitious redemption process for historical bonds, which falsely claimed that investors would receive proceeds of up to $15 million for their bonds with an advanced payment of $250,000. So what they did, folks, they told these gurus, told you, the investors, their victims, that they would get up to $15 million for these bonds, but they would get an advancement of $250,000. Now, I'm going to read this again. Peculiar Ram, I need your help. It says, as part of this fraudulent scheme, the defendants promoted a fictitious what, Peculiar Ram?
Redemption process.
A fictitious redemption process. Folks, redemption process is mentioned so many times in this complaint and in this conviction.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that it was the only thing mentioned in this redemption. Now let's continue. The SEC says, now they told us that it was fictitious. They told us they were going to get $15 million for these bonds, and they would get an advancement of $250,000. The SEC says, in reality, this purported redemption process was a what?
A sham.
A sham. This is the words of the SEC.
Yes.
The government is saying it's a sham.
It's a sham. No advance payment of $250,000 was ever made, and no historical bonds were ever redeemed. In all, the fraud raised $3.85 million. Folks, they took $3.85 million from at least 85 investors, you the people, between January 2017 and August 2023. The fraudulent scheme worked in 3 parts. Folks, we haven't even gotten to the good part.
Not
Let's
at
go.
all.
Number 6. For those of you who want to claim it's AI, you can AI this up your ASS. First, the defendants' historical asset placement services, the gurus, its managing member, Christopher Abshire, and CW Abshire's father and son, and their day-to-day operations manager, Billy Abshire. Both folks, this was a family affair. Together, CW Abshire, the Abshires, collectively, the defendants, collectively, the gurus, offered custodial services in which their company would hold and safeguard its customers, you, investors, you, it would hold your historical bonds. They also offered purported what? What was it?
Redemption services.
They also offered purported redemption services through which their company would monetize the historical bonds. Folks, is this beginning to sound familiar? We haven't even gotten to the good part. Number 7. In connection with these services, the defendants, aka these gurus who got convicted by the SEC, they offered commissions to affiliates to solicit customers to use their services. The defendants claimed that these commissions would be paid from the proceeds of the historical bonds once they were monetized. Folks, if you are not sitting down, number 8, before I read it, you need to sit down. Some of you may need to sit down on the toilet. Number 8, the defendants, the gurus who got convicted and charged with fraud for historical bonds, they told their affiliates, meaning those associated with them, and clients, materially false information about their fictitious what?
Redemption process.
They told their clients about their fictitious redemption process. These materially false statements included that the redemption process involved the U.S. and foreign governments and well-known financial institutions and accounting firms. Folks, this is where it's about to get heavy and hard on a lot of you. The defendants, meaning these gurus who were convicted, claimed further that the redemption process would result in a what, Peculiar Rand?
Global currency reset.
It didn't say that, did it? No, that's AI. The SEC didn't say that's AI. That must be AI. Is that AI?
It gotta be.
This ain't public.
It gotta be.
The defendants claim further that the redemption process would result in a global currency reset that various national governments were negotiating, which would result in most, if not all, countries using currencies backed by assets such as these historical bonds. Have you ever heard of bonds paying for the global currency reset, folks? No, you've never heard of that before, have you?
Yeah, right. We need it for the
Folks.
GCR, guys. No, we don't.
What is the SEC saying here? It's a sham. They should have said it's a damn sham, but they didn't.
Damn sham.
I'll continue. The defendants also promised investors $250,000 advancement on the redemption value of each historical bond. The SEC says these representations were completely false and no such process excuse me. Could you finish this last part?
Yeah. No such redemption process existed.
The SEC says these representations were completely false and no such redemption process existed. Investors never received any advances on the supposed redemption value of the historical bonds, and none were ever redeemed. Now, for those of you who you're on these channels, you're out here on the internet, you claiming, you defending, aiding, and abetting, you don't even realize you're doing it because now you took the bait. When Freedom Fighter put it out there the last 2 weeks with just the screenshots, you didn't think that I would have the actual information. You don't think the Goldilocks team and Wiley and up, you think we don't have the real details? You're about to find out. Number 9. Well, I think you probably found out by now already, but let's continue. Number 9, the defendants, the gurus knew or were reckless in not knowing that those soliciting their clients repeated the HAPS defendants' false representations regarding the purported redemption process for the historical bonds in custody. So what this is saying, folks, is that these gurus, they knew or were reckless in not knowing that they were misrepresenting and making false representations regarding these bonds. See, this is why I said over the last 2 weeks, the fact of the matter is, ignorance of the law, got it, She-Hulk, ignorance of the law is not an excuse to get you out of this trouble that you're in. Ignorance of the law is no excuse for committing a crime.
We're still responsible for that of which we don't know.
And I'm glad you said that. And when it comes to securities, folks, bonds and currencies, if you get on a platform, and this is all in here, we're going to show it to you about devices, especially electronic devices. So if you're on your phone, you're on your computers, you're in these chat logs, and you are misrepresenting and making false statements, it's right here. False representations regarding the purported redemption process. Have any of you ever been in these rooms claiming redemption processes regarding bonds? Have you been in? Have you done it? It says that these gurus, they knew or were reckless in not knowing that they were making false misrepresentations. Folks, the SEC is saying whether they knew or they didn't, the fact that they did it is a crime. Why is it a crime? See, folks, it's different. You can sit at the table with your family, your friends, in the privacy of your home. You can make these statements about redemption process, historical bonds, funding the global currency reset, all this foolishness. That's fine. You can do that. But you know what interstate commerce is? Do you know what devices are? You get onto a public platform and you make these claims, whether writing in your chat logs or verbally on your podcast and your live streams. False representations. Well, so the SEC says, this is the law says, let me correct myself. The SEC doesn't say, the law says it's a crime. The SEC is saying whether they knew or didn't know, they were reckless in not knowing. I will continue. Number 10. This is the second of the three. Defendants, Frederick Gladel and relief defendant, Barbara Gladel, which is his wife. So, folks, just imagine this husband out here committing these fraud, these crimes. His wife was in on it too. It even shows in here where they was funneling money into the wife's bank account, a separate bank account. They were trying to hide the money, millions of dollars. She got bagged too. You know what bag mean? Locked up. Okay. And defendants Penley and Scannell each acquired historical bonds, which they placed in the custody of the company HAPS prior to resale to a third parties. So they were acquiring these historical bonds and reselling them to other people. Have any of you sold or bought or know of folks selling, buying historical bonds on Telegram? Have any of you received an email from someone selling you quote unquote historical bonds? I know Peculiar Ram has for $2,000, $3,000.
Yes.
I will continue. During the relevant period, the Gladels purchased and sold historical bonds to Penley. Folks, this is a whole operation and at least one other customer. Penley, which is a part of their scheme, he resold the bonds he purchased from the Gladels and other. So he bought the bonds from the one scammer and he scammed other folks with selling the bonds to someone else. Doesn't this sound familiar?
It sure does.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Jacob, Isaac. I don't know any other biblical names. I'll continue. Fred Gladel aided and abetted. Folks, this is where many of you have screwed up. Fred Gladel aided and abetted some of these sales. Many of you folks, you've aided and abetted your favorite gurus. And you don't even know it. But the law says whether you knew or if you were reckless in not knowing, you still committed a crime. Why? because it is financial securities, bonds, currencies. These folks collected money in the process of committing a felony regarding securities. If you're sitting at the table eating your chitlins and whatever you eat at your table on Thanksgiving, that's okay. You're not collecting money.
Right.
You're not on a public platform, but you got on these public platforms, and you see these folks didn't get away with it. Don't think you're gonna get away with it. Yep. See, we didn't want to do this, folks.
Right.
But some of you insisted. You double down. You double down on your crimes and your scam. What the SEC calls is a sham. And you victimized, defrauded, and stole money from good people that all they want to do is take care of their families and have wealth. But you scammed them. You defrauded them. And many of you did it in the name of Jesus. You're going to hell.
Preach.
Number 11. In affecting or in the case of Fred Gladle, aiding and abetting the resales of historical bonds. Fred Gladle, Penley, and Scannell referenced Happ's custodianship of the bonds and repeated folks, this is going to blow your mind, and repeated the defendant's false claims about the redemption process to investors. In some cases, Peculiar Ram, they even embellished the guru's falsehoods with what?
Their own falsehoods.
With their own falsehoods. You see how, folks, many of you been in these rooms repeating what the guru's saying. All you're doing is you embellishing. Oh, as a matter of fact, I'm going to call an audible right here. As a matter of fact, this reminds me. I'm going to share something into the room. See, folks? You shouldn't have never done this.
You shouldn't
have never done this.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch what I drop into the room. We have a guest on the call tonight, folks. This particular guest had the nerve to go and attack an beautiful elderly woman who was defending the truth. He went into her DMs, and maybe he was aiding and abetting. Maybe he is a representative of one of these gurus that you all love to tout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just dropped it into the room. This is a DM from someone by the name of Ron. Hello, Ron. I see you on the call. He says to D, you're the liar. There's a private humanitarian group with over 135 international delegates that represent foreign currencies and verified historical bonds. Are you sure of that now, Ronnie?
Oh, Ronnie.
And then you tell D, you better check your facts, D, before you shoot your mouth off.
No, he didn't.
You think that's what you should have done, Ronnie? Oops.
Oh, just the fact that you're out here now promoting it, Ronnie. Now it's online. You talk too much.
And you're in our rooms getting information from Goldilocks, D's room, and the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, Ronnie. Oh, let me press delete. Hold on a second, Ronnie. It's okay. Let me press delete and delete it. Let me delete it out of the room before the SEC and the FBI grabs it, Ronnie. Let me delete it. I'll delete it, Ronnie.
Oh, sure you will.
Hold. My delete button stopped working.
It's not working, is it?
No, it's not working.
Yeah, let's keep going.
He'll
be all right.
See, folks, when you play these games, you never, ever want a nice, loving person. You don't want to get into a fight. They take their gloves off.
There you go, SEC. There you go, right there. Continuing.
Now, we will continue. Number 12. Fred Gladle, Penley, and Scannell knew of the existing government's long-standing refusal to pay out on the bonds and the adverse decisions in court actions to recover the bonds. So, folks, it says that these gurus knew that the government's that the gurus knew that the governments would not pay out on these bonds, and the adverse decisions of the courts to not pay out on these bonds, these German bonds, these Chinese bonds, these historical bonds, where the governments completely don't even recognize these bonds, but you are told that you were going to go to a redemption center to redeem these bonds. I wonder if you still believe that now. If you do, that's on you. But the SEC says redemption centers and these redemption processes, they're a sham, don't exist. The historical bonds, sham. The governments don't recognize them. Folks, this is the Securities and Exchange Commission, under which they regulate securities called bonds. Do you think they know what they're talking about? They investigate this type of crime, a whole entire division dedicated to historical bonds. I'll continue. Wow. Number 12, Fred Gladel. Folks, we haven't even gotten to the good part. Yeah, you heard about the bonds that they said were going to be funding the global currency reset and all that. You thought that was, no, we ain't got to do the good part. Number 12, Fred Gladel, Penley, and Scannell knew the existing government's long-standing refusal. Number 13, also each knew or were reckless or negligent in not knowing that their statements to investors were materially false or omitted material information, which made the statements materially misleading. Folks, you cannot make misleading and false statements about securities instruments on a public platform. It is a felony. That's why these fools are going to prison. And they collected money. So for many of you gurus, you're saying, oh, you're not collecting money for bonds. What about your memberships? What about your Patreons? Haven't you been on your platforms talking about redemption process, historical bonds, and your high-level sources of contact said, blah, 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 about these bonds?
For years.
For years. So you may not have sold a bond, but interstate,
you made a cute little coin.
The receiving of funds in the act of making misrepresenting statements about securities instruments such as historical bonds is a crime. These folks thought they were getting away with it. Did they? Not at all. Do you think you're going to get away with it? Not at all. I will continue. We're going to go down to number. One second. We're going to skip down to number 20. Folks, these are the actual violations that the SEC dropped on these gurus by engaging in the conduct alleged in this complaint. So this is all the crimes they committed. Defendants violated, and unless restrained and enjoined, will violate again. Exchange Act Section 10B. I'm not going to read all the numbers, but it's right there. Then letter B, Fred Gladel, Penley, Scannell. They violated Securities Act 17A, 15 USC, 77Q. For those of you who think it's AI, why don't you look it up? C, Penley, Scannell. Folks, they hitting them with all these charges. They violated Securities Act 5A. D, violated Section 17A. E, violated 15A 115, USC 780. F, SCW Absher and House violated Rule 21F 17A of the Exchange Act. Folks, these are all the charges they got hit with. Many of them. Now let's go down to where it says facts. Facts. Number 40. This is the facts by the SEC and their 6-year investigation into this criminal enterprise that these gurus operate in. I'm gonna give you time to go down. Number 40. What's the title of this under I, the letter I, under facts? Could you rank?
The historical bond scheme.
The historical bond scheme, like the one and only the historical bond scheme. Letter A, historical bonds. Number 40, the historical bonds at issue are predominantly dollar-denominated bearer bonds issued in the 1920s by the German government. Since the 1950s, the German government has generally disavowed responsibility for these bonds. If you could read that last sentence, Peculiar Ram, my voice might be a little too rough and raspy. Let them hear a feminine voice. Maybe someone else might hear you a little better than they just heard me about what the SEC says about y'all German bonds. I wonder if there's any weasels or any other gurus out there talking about German bonds. Can you reread that last sentence, please?
Since the 1950s, the German government has generally disavowed responsibility for these bonds.
Folks, the German government doesn't recognize these German historical bonds
at all.
This is the SEC, folks. This is not my opinion. My contacts say it. My high-level sources say it. My banker called me and texted me on Sunday before church said. None of that foolishness. Now, folks, number 41. We haven't gotten to the good part. Number 41.
The fun part.
The historical bonds sold to investors also include what, Peculiar Rand?
Super Pacelli Spaghetti Manelli bonds.
The historical bonds sold to investors also include Super Pacelli bonds, which the Chinese government issued in the 1910s, and various railroad bonds the Russian government issued in the 19th century and the first years of the 20th century. After the 1949 communist takeover in China,
wow,
the 1970 Russian Revolution, the governments of those countries consistently refused to recognize the debt. I wonder, have any of you heard of Pacelli bonds? And they're going to be paid and you're going to be a billionaire? The SEC in this conviction and these criminals called gurus in this criminal enterprise is in black and white telling you that it's a sham. Let's go to number 42. The historical bonds in this matter were offered and sold as securities. And the Securities and Exchange Commission and the FBI was watching the whole entire time. 6 years from 2017 to 2023. Folks, they thought they were going to make it to Christmas in 2023, and they didn't make it.
Yep.
Yep. The FBI came knocking. See, y'all thought y'all were going to get away. You think you're going to. They thought wrong. Now. We're going to go and get into the operations. Number 43. The company, the guru started the company in 2010. 44. During the relevant period, C.W. Apsher served as the sole managing member, and Billy Apsher, C.W. Apsher's father, managed the daily operations. Listen to this. This is going to sound very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, folks, we haven't even gotten to the good part. HAPS offered its customers a custodial service in which it would hold and safeguard its customers' historical bonds. Number 46. They also promoted a purported what, Peculiar Rand?
Redemption service,
in which it would monetize the historical bonds. 47. To entice clients, meaning you, investors, people to buy the bonds, to entice you. They used their services. The HAPS defendants made materially false misrepresentations that the clients would receive $250,000 cash advance before the purported full value of the historical bonds were monetized. Number 48. They also created a name. This part right here. This part right here. Folks, you're going to see how
Wow.
the FBI and the SEC watched every single move these folks made. And you think y'all going to get away with this, gurus? Pay attention. 48. Haps created a name for this purported advancement payment. So the $250,000 that they were supposed to get from the multi-million-dollar bonds that were going to be redeemed and fund the RV GCR, these folks, they were promised $250,000 to be advanced to them. And guess what they called it? The SEC says they created a name for it, describing the $250,000 advancement as the name of what, Peculiar Ram?
Healing funds.
This $250,000 fund, folks, this advancement, the gurus called it the healing funds. You can't make this stuff up.
They're worse than prosperity pastors.
Yeah, Benny Hinn all over again.
Let me tell you.
Folks, they called it the healing funds. This 250, they just completely scammed these folks. And using the name of Jesus. Number 50. Haps represented that it will fund commissions by retaining 5% of the redemption proceeds of the historical bonds. Number 51. Haps and the Abshires knew or were reckless in not knowing that those individuals who solicited customers, including Fred Glatt, also sold historical bonds. Number 52. And we even got to the good part. Haps and the Abshires knew or were reckless in not knowing that the affiliates induced prospective customers to buy historical bonds and to apply to become Haps members by promoting redemption services. Wow. Now, this next part, you might need to sit down again. Number 53. During the relevant period, Haps generally required each prospective client to complete a new membership application, provide supporting paperwork, and enter into what's called an NCNDA, which is a non-circumvention and non-disclosure agreement. This also, folks, could be considered what's called a non-compete. So what this was, they told these folks, you got to sign this document, and you can't tell anyone about what we're doing. As a matter of fact, if you know another guru that they're buying and selling these historical bonds, you can't go over there and take your bonds over there with him. That's competition. You got to keep your business here with us. Number 55. The NCNDA required the prospective client to agree to not communicate anything about the redemption process to third parties. So that means shh, don't tell anybody, because we don't want them to find out that we scamming you just like they scamming you.
Exactly.
That's all this is. Let's skip to number 62. Accordingly, through the new member application forms and the associated communications, as well as the correspondence of Fred Glatt, Haps and his defendants were reckless in not knowing that when Fred Glatt, Penley, and Scannell sold historical bonds to new investors, they conveyed that the Haps defendants, meaning the gurus' defendants, material misrepresentations regarding the purported redemption process. Number 63. Now, folks, this is important. Letter C, the Haps defendants, meaning the gurus, misrepresentations to investors. So now this is when, folks, you're going to find out how the FBI and the SEC was watching the whole entire time. You're about to find out, because these are the statements that the gurus, this group of gurus, were making to their clients who bought these historical bonds. The Abshires communicated with their affiliates about the redemption process in a number of ways. Throughout the relevant period, the Abshires communicated with their affiliates, wink, wink, admins, wink, wink,
Mm-hmm.
people that are helping them in their rooms. And certain HAPS clients, listen, they communicated through an electronic portal named the portal, which they granted access to selectively. So they created like an intranet, an internal electronic community. Think of like a private chat,
Like a
like a private,
Patreon.
like a
But they have to
Patreon.
pay to join their
So
Patreon to get this
yes,
intel.
so folks, this private portal where the gurus created just for the people that signed up to buy these fake historical bonds that the government of China, German don't recognize. Let's continue. Number 65. C.W. Absher would either draft and post himself or direct Billy Absher to draft and post on this portal. So how do you think the SEC knew about this internal portal? Have you ever heard of the FBI?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know they can monitor any device? They thought they were getting away scot-free. Number 67. During the relevant period, Billy Absher also communicated with investors about the redemption process during in-person meetings and via telephone.
Ooh, how would they know that?
How do you think they knew about these telephone conversations and these in-person meetings? Have you heard of a wire? Have you heard of surveillance? If you don't know, the FBI, they're the best at it. And they work with the SEC to monitor any device, anyone. 68. Listen to the details by the SEC. In July 2017, C.W. Absher posted on the portal that broadly outlined the entire purported HAPS redemption process. In these communications, C.W. Absher disseminated, among other things, the following false statements to their investors, to you, the people, concerning the bonds. Now, this might just be where it gets good. This might be where it gets good. It's like, listen to what they told their people on this portal, folks. Listen. Brunette Grand, I know you read this and you sipped your wine, baby. I know you did. It says, so here goes the false the false statements. They said, A, once HAPS takes custody of a client's bonds, it transports them by United States government diplomatic jet to a bank in Hong Kong, China. Have you heard about jets flying in the sky?
Oh, we have a lot of movement, folks. We have a lot of movement.
I can hear now. Peculiar Ram, a lady, her little child walking outside. She said, "Little Johnny, look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. Is it Superman, Mom? No, Johnny, it's not Superman. That's a plane carrying historical bonds to Reno." And then from Reno, it's going to Hong Kong, China. Johnny, you know Superman's not real. Historical bonds are.
They are. It's so funny.
These are the statements, folks. This is in the portal, and the FBI and the CIA is monitoring the whole time. Wow. Let's go to B. This is what they're telling their people. The gurus told their people the bonds are reviewed and authenticated in Hong Kong. C. Listen what they said. Once the bonds are authenticated, a what? Peculiar Ram?
A redemption platform.
A redemption platform housed within a second Hong Kong bank would route the funds into a paymaster account for the benefit of you clients. You never heard of paymasters, folks, have you? Then D, let's continue. And we really haven't even gotten to the good part. D, HAPS redemption efforts. This is what they're telling. This is what in the portal. This is not by phone. This is not by plane. This is not by train. This is not by text. This is in their internal portal where they thought they were scot-free, and the FBI and the SEC wouldn't know. In the portal, they said HAPS redemption efforts would culminate in a global currency reset that various national governments were purportedly negotiating, and this reset would move most, if not all, countries from using fiat-based currencies to currencies backed by assets such as gold and what, Peculiar Ram?
Historical bonds.
So the historical bonds, folks, that were shipped off to a plane to China, where they were authenticated and sent to the paymaster to fund the global currency reset.
Wow.
You all have never heard of this before, have you?
Surely
This is brand new. Number 69. Throughout the relevant period, the slight variations the app shares disseminated to their affiliates, admins, pumpers in the rooms, and clients, the same false information about the purported redemption process was in the July 2017 postings to the portal. Folks, they were convicted in 2024. They were being watched since 2017. They thought they were going to get away with it. We might just be getting to the good part. Number 70. This is yet again SEC saying what these gurus were telling the people, and the SEC, by way of their surveillance buddies, the FBI, provided the information. Number 70. For example, on or about March 3rd, 2022, during an in-person meeting in Temple, Texas, Billy Absher told Penley, among other things, the following false information. A, that the U.S. military transports bonds from HAPS to Hong Kong. And B, military. What is was the military transport from was it from the military base where the redemption center is too? Is that where this came from?
Mm-hmm.
B, they said the redemption platform had generated. This is what they're telling their people in this portal, while the FBI and SEC is watching, Big Brother's watching, and they saying to their people, the redemption platform had generated enough funds to pay off what, Peculiar Ram?
The debt of the world.
They told their people that these historical bonds that the government of China doesn't recognize, that Germany doesn't recognize, the historical bonds, the Pacelli, Fratelli, Spaghetti, Fettuccine bonds, the governments don't recognize, that those pasta bonds are going to pay off all the debt in the world. Does this not sound like Nasera and Jacera to you all, folks?
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
No, let's continue. Let's get down to number. Oh, we got to go to 74. 74, folks. This is going to even sound more familiar, and we haven't gotten to the good part yet. Number 74. This is what they're telling the people. Mm-hmm. And both immediately prior to and throughout the relevant period, CW Abshire gave repeated false assurances to their affiliates and to the investors of these bonds that the dispersal of the healing funds to the clients was imminent. Examples of which included the following. So now they're telling the people that the money is on the way. The funds have been released. The RV has been signed off on, and this is what they're telling their people on November the 4th. Almost three more days. We almost there. On November the 4th, 2016, CW Abshire posted this message on the portal when Big Brother was watching. Quote, we were advised that we can expect to see the release and authorization to disperse the healing funds not long after the 2016 U.S. presidential election.
Wow, this sounds so familiar.
Oh, you can't make this up.
Oh, my goodness.
Folks, this is how the feds are watching. The feds are watching. Let her be.
They are.
So now we went from November 4th, 2016, January 6th, 2017. They're still under surveillance. CW Abshire posted this message on the portal. Folks, how do you think that this is the details? Quote, some of the disinformation currently being purported is that this redemption of historical bonds could be pushed off to this summer. And even a couple of people have been told that we won't see anything before 2018 at the least. In all caps, they post. That, folks, is not what we are being told. The process has moved way too far forward to be halted now. We have passed the point of no return in this process, end quote. That's what they posted on the portal, not knowing Big Brother was watching. They're telling their folks, this is what, no matter what you're hearing, that this is pushed off. No, it's not. We've come too far to turn back now.
And it sounds like an X feed, Twitter feed.
Letter C. Now we're going to October the 23rd, 2020. CW After posted this message on the portal. The FBI and the SEC's watching. Quote, our representatives are currently in Hong Kong. He was told to travel in order to receive the funds, and we are told he will come back with the healing funds in the Paymaster account in the next few days. End quote. Does this not sound familiar?
Ridiculous.
Oh, D. On December the 30th, 2022, CW Asher posted this message on the portal, and Big Brother was watching. Quote, we continue to receive good news and can share that great progress was made throughout the holidays toward approval of the healing funds. End quote. Please read that part again, Peculiar Ram.
We continue to receive good news and can share that great progress was made throughout the holidays toward approval for release of the healing funds, guys. We're nearly there. I added that part.
That's good. That's what they say. 75. Folks, during an in-person meeting. Now, how do you think the FBI and the SEC knew about this in-person meeting? Got all the details. I'll continue. You'll find out. During an in-person meeting with the gurus, their office in Temple, Texas, on or around March the 3rd, 2022, Billy Absher falsely represented to Penley that the healing funds had actually arrived. Billy Absher declined to show Penley any documentation or account statements to verify that statement.
I bet.
In December 2021, by email to Scandal, CW Absher falsely stated that the healing funds are here and they're mine, but could not be dispersed. The SEC and FBI says this was false.
Man.
Listen to the details. Number 77. Like Penny, Scandal was also formerly. Now this is where this fool had a former license to sell securities, and he's participating in criminal activities. Number 77. Like Penley, Scandal was also formerly licensed and trained securities professional who used the HAPS misstatements, the Guru's misstatements, to sell historical bonds to unsuspecting investors. Now, number 78. This is going to sound familiar. By early 2023, folks, this is 6 years into the investigation. Remember, 2024 December is when they got hit with the hammer and convicted. Early 2023, CW Asher generally stopped promising. This is what the SEC is saying. This is how much they monitored. They're now saying he stopped promising the imminent arrival of the healing funds via the portal, asking HAPS clients to join him in, quote, doing what, Peculiar Ram?
Trusting God's timing and delivery.
End quote. And stating that he cannot give any further updates on the bonds because he is under a gag order of unspecified source.
Of course.
You never heard that before, have you, folks? No, never. Number 83. 83. Now we're going to get to some funky, junky stuff. Beginning in March 2023, Asher directed HAPS to take the added step of demanding that certain existing and new clients who wanted access to the portal to sign an affidavit affirming that they had, quote, not lodged any complaints nor grievances with the SEC and the FBI or any other regulatory or law enforcement agency. Folks, they had their people, their clients, those who bought these fake historical bonds, they had them sign an affidavit stating that they would not file any complaints with the SEC or FBI. Meanwhile, the SEC and the FBI was watching the whole time. The recklessness, the buffoonery.
Oh my goodness.
So now, 84, at least 22 investors, of which 18 had purchased historical bonds from the penalty, executed the affidavit. The FBI and the SEC knew exactly how many people signed this funky affidavit to not file a complaint. And the whole time they were being watched by the feds. Now, let's go to 87. The HAPS defendants, meaning the gurus, they knew, this says they knew or were reckless in not knowing that each employed a device, scheme, or artifice to defraud, made untrue statements of a material fact, or omitted to state material facts necessary to make those statements that were made not misleading, and engaged in acts, practices, or courses of business which operated or would operate as a fraud or deceit on investors, you the people, in connection with the sale of a security. What's a security? Bond, currency. That's why this is the Securities Exchange Commission. I'm going to read the first part again. The defendants, the gurus, knew or were reckless in not knowing that each employed a device. Let's go to number 97.
You guys, please read in between this after the call. There's so much more, just for the sake of the call. We're
So
skimming down, but
yes, number
it's a
97.
lot.
And then we're going to open up for those who got this, and we're going to get your feedback. Number 97. And then don't forget, Wiley's going to drop a major bomb at the end. See, folks, you listening to all this? This is why you have to understand Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. Tune in every day to Goldilocks Global Banking News, the YouTube channel, to get your daily updates from Goldilocks, brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Why, folks? Because Goldilocks is the only one source, number one source, bringing you real information from the actual sources, the facts with details from the actual sources, from the Bank of International Settlements, from the SEC, from the CBI, from the World Bank, from the Treasury, from Forex. You never hear Goldilocks while you're Freedom Fighter talking about high-level sources, contacts, third-party contacts. My contact said this, redemption centers, historical bonds. Now you see, it's all fraud. Goldilocks is, see, and folks, your favorite gurus, they all come to Goldilocks to pilfer, scam, pick information, twist it and turn it to go back to their channels and provide it to their people, twisted and turned to where it's not even real anymore, because they done stripped it of its facts and its real information from Goldilocks, and they're using our YouTube channels and our titles and our information to twist to their people. It's all for content. That's all they do it for. And I'm going to tell you something before I continue with number 97. See, folks, you're learning. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And let me tell you this also, folks, especially you gurus that you've been scamming people out of thousands and thousands of dollars behind these fake ass bonds that don't exist. The law does not discriminate. The law does not care. The FBI, the SEC, who are watching all of you, us too. They're watching us too.
Yeah.
They don't discriminate. They don't care if you're straight, gay, no matter your race, no matter if you walk straight, no matter if you walk with a limp,
Mhm.
they don't even care if you are on alive, not alive. They don't care. They don't care if you are on your channels.
Yeah.
They don't care if you ride in a fancy car, a beat down car. And guess what? They don't even care if you ride in an electronic wheelchair.
They really don't.
On your channels talking about bonds.
Oh, shoot. I just caught that.
I know you did. They don't care if you in Hawaii wearing colorful suits, winking at your folks. They don't care if you on your channels with looking like Ronald McDonald with all that makeup. If you slap into the wall, it'll be a big old print. If your eyelashes look like diving boards,
Snuffleupagus.
they don't care, folks. You're scheming and you're scamming. Yeah, I'm being intentional with my conviction and being very specific because I'm doing it on purpose. They don't care if you're a weasel in Australia or whatever country you claim to be from. They don't care if you're Puerto Rico. Folks, there's something called the agency called Interpol, which is the international police. They have international jurisdiction to go anywhere in the world to lock your ass up.
Yep.
They don't care if you've been in prison before. If you've never been, you're still going. If you've been before, you're going back.
Facts.
The law does not discriminate. I'll continue. 97. The purchase agreements prepared by Fred Gladle to sell 30 historical bonds falsely stated that the bonds had been authenticated and had legal claim values. Check this out. His quotes. This is the FBI and the SEC watching. He said, the guru said, that these authenticated bonds, that the values that are hundreds of times more than what you purchased them for. Does this not sound familiar? Weren't you all told that these bonds that you paid for off of the internet or out of your chat and your DMs from these scam artists that are in your DMs selling you fake bonds?
Yeah.
Let's get down to number 110. We're on. Then we still haven't gotten to the good part.
I swear.
Barbara Gladle, which is the wife of one of these folks, received ill-gotten gains into a bank account held in her name, as stated above, to which she does not have a legitimate claim and which was subject to use by both Fred Gladle and Barbara Gladle. Folks, this fool, this guru, got himself pinned up and his wife. No. She knew what she was doing. So it ain't his fault. She's a co-conspirator. She's a co-conspirator.
That part.
Number 114. Listen to what they sold these fake bonds for. Penley introduced investors, you the people, to purchase these historical bonds, which he typically sold for $5,000 each, by making material misstatements or omitting material information, which made those statements which were made materially misleading, some of which originated with the haps, meaning the gurus, and the apshears, and others which Penley devised. Number 115. Among the material misrepresentations Penley made during the relevant period, A, Haps had a redemption process in place for historical bonds. B, the return per bond would be in the range of $5 million to $15 million. Folks, many of you have been told that yours is going to be in the billions. In fact, the trillions. C, internationally known accounting firms specifically named by Penley were involved in facilitating investor payouts. This is what they're lying and telling their folks. D, this is what they're telling. Each bondholder would receive $250,000 in healing funds within months of the bond purchase. This is another thing. Letter E, what they told their folks. They said the SEC, FBI, and Homeland Security were all aware of the redemption process. They're telling their folks that the SEC SEC, FBI, and Homeland Security were aware of the redemption process, but the SEC, FBI, Homeland Security sitting back on surveillance talking about these fools lying. We don't know nothing about y'all redemption process. We can't wait to come lock y'all asses up.
I swear they can't wait.
That's what they would say. I know you had some FBI agents talking about, boss, can we just go lock them up now already? They talking about we know about the redemption process. Commanding officer like, no, wait.
DOD signed off on them.
Yeah, what lady need the Department of Dragons?
Yes, the Department of Dragons signed. Well, why would they sign off on them if it wasn't real? They're sitting back like, we just cannot wait to lock your ass up.
Yeah. Number 117. Penley also presented at least 41 investors with a bond purchase agreement, which falsely represented that the bond or bonds being transferred has legal claim values that are hundreds of times more than the purchase price being paid. Does this not sound familiar? Let's go to 130. Skip down to 132. 132. The purchase agreements that Skinnell used in his bonds falsely claimed that, quote, they have legal claim values that are 100 times more than the purchase price. Quote, then he says, hold on, I got to read this again because this is going to blow your mind. He said the purchase agreements that Skinnell used in his bond sales falsely stated that the bonds, quote, have legal claim values that are hundreds of times more than the purchase price being paid, end quote, without disclosing certain red flags that revealed that the HAPS redemption process was fraudulent, including but not limited to existing impediments to recovery and continued adverse court decisions. Number 133. As a licensed and trained securities professionals, they were reckless or negligent in not knowing that the redemption process was what, Peculiar Ram?
Fraudulent.
Number 149. Penley and Skinnell each knew or were reckless and negligent in not knowing that in the sale or the offer of the security in connection with the sale of the security, he employed a device. Folks, your phone is a device. Your computer is a device. Y'all Twitter thugs, you Telegram gangsters, popping off at the mouth and clicking and typing about your historical bond buddies and got 135 international delegates and then historical bonds that have been authenticated. Now you see what you got yourselves into. You should have kept your mouth shut. You should have, as one of my cousins, you should have shut your jibs.
Facts.
You see what you got yourselves into? Pumping your chest, defending these gurus. Yeah. But now what it looks like is that you are aiding and abetting.
Yep.
You've aided and abetted. Are you a part of these scams and these schemes at the SEC and the FBI? You folks don't know?
Yep.
I would love for now. Glass half full. If you could please unmute. Come on back. Oh, Wiley. I'm sorry, Wiley. If you would like to unmute, let's get Wiley in here first. Wiley, would you like to jump in here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting deja vu. Healing funds, med beds. I mean, you can just see how the gurus have picked this stuff up, used it for their own, but twist names to make it their own. The scam's not new, folks. And for those people pulling it, man, it's way too late to pull your crap down because they already got it and you're in the crosshairs.
Yep.
But you guys keep pumping your chest and keep going because I hope they come for every single one of you lying to people.
Me too.
It's amazing because word for word, Wiley, redemption centers, redemption platform, planes flying to Hong Kong with bonds and currencies and all this foolishness.
And here the FBI and the FBI and the SEC are saying there's no such thing as a redemption process.
None.
Time and time and time again through this article. Oh, but my
And,
guru says, okay, yeah, well, your guru is going to be in the pokey. I hope you ain't aiding and abetting too.
and see, and that's another thing, Wiley. These folks that these 85 investors that got scammed by these gurus, they were saying the same thing. I bet they were defending their gurus
Oh,
all
you
the
know
way
it.
as well.
How much of the hate mail you and I get from these people going after you can't attack my guru. My guru's a truth teller. He's a godly man. Okay, so was Jim Jones.
Right. Exactly. Right. Uh-huh. See, folks don't even realize you're on these. You're using your devices to promote securities, bonds, or securities, currencies, and you whether you're collecting funds or you're supporting and sponsoring marketing for your gurus who are selling or marketing these so-called bonds, and you're on these platforms. These are felonies. You see, these folks were being watched for 6+ years. You know, they thought they were getting away scot-free. They stole $4 million. $4 million from these people, 85 people. They thought they were getting away with it.
You know what, though, Freedom? I enjoy the hate mail. I enjoy all these people that are guilt by association because I'm the guy. I'm that guy that will call the SEC and put it in their hands. So keep sending me your stuff, folks. Send it all.
I love it. See, folks, Wiley and I have been very patient and very nice. We didn't like he said in the beginning, we didn't want to respond. We didn't want to do this. But God has a way of making sure that his message gets out. Because if just one of you can make a decision, now we're faced with the facts, you can get yourself prepared. That's why you hear all of these stories from the people that have been following us for the last year and a half who are prepared with their bankers. See, folks, just imagine you're one of those. You've been told to wait for an email, a notification to go to a redemption center because the redemption center is where you're going to get your higher rates. The FBI and the SEC telling you there's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's a sham.
But Freedom, the Redemption Center is the only one that's going to do the Zim bond to get me my med bed. Healing fund?
I'm glad you said that, Wiley. I know there are people thinking, okay, so you got, this says the German and the China bonds. Okay, well, what about the Zims, folks? This is where Wiley was so gracious, sharing the ISO 4217 list for any and every instrument, currency, bond. It's all there on the ISO 4217 list. If it's not there, it's not recognized. Just like Germany and China, you saw here, the SEC, FBI told you they don't recognize those fake bonds, historical bonds you were told to go buy and become a billionaire. Zimbabwe does not recognize Zim bonds. Nope. They are collectibles. We've shown you that proof.
And refresh my memory, Freedom. The SEC covers bonds and what?
And
currencies.
Yeah.
And you talking Zim bonds, folks? If you're being lied to by a guru, they got an SEC problem.
They do. And we share the hotline.
Yeah, and then they come out there and repeat it, and they want to stand behind it. You all need to get straight. You're far from it.
Exactly.
Oh, but Freedom Fighter and Goldilocks and Wiley, they said no Zim bonds and blood, and their whole worlds are falling apart. Pivot, folks. You were lied to.
Yep.
Go get professionally regulated individuals in your corner and stop listening to know-it-all gurus on the internet that don't know a damn thing. They make money off of you by the misstatements and misleading you is what's going to put them in jail.
Yep.
And you don't think it's happening? I'll post articles tonight about 2 other organizations that went to jail, along with these fellows. This ain't isolated, folks, and it ain't the last one. There's more coming.
There's more coming. And there's more we're aware of. This is just what we choose to provide and share with you. You got to do your own research
Yeah,
and
this
diligence
is
and your own
yeah.
homework.
It's not our job to save everybody and dispel all that. If we help a few, great.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We got to move on with what we do and
Right.
help the folks we do help.
Folks, we are too close to this happening. And those that have been following Goldilocks, they are prepared. Those that have been following Goldilocks, Wiley's guidance, my guidance, and the tribe guidance. For those of you who don't know who the tribe are, they're people just like you who once thought that they would go to a redemption center and wait for a notification to go and get a higher rate. And we educated them for 9-10 hours a day for almost a year and a half. Now they're set, sorted, prepared. Some of them even have their debit cards for their new accounts when they exchange their funds. They have contracts to exchange their currencies with actual bankers, regulated, licensed institutions. No unregulated bonds and non-existent redemption centers that the FBI and SEC. You think the FBI and SEC is lying to you? You haven't done the homework. See, this is why, folks, your favorite gurus told you stay away from Freedom Fighter, Wiley, and Goldilocks, because they didn't want you to come in here and get the truth. They want you to stay where they're enslaved on their plantations, mentally enslaved. They keep coming back and clicking on their channels.
If you've lost money to any of these bogus bond sales, this is for you. Contact that SEC number or email and file the complaint.
Yep.
That's the only way you're going to get restitution. The only way.
Yeah.
And it took the government many years. I have emails from the Abshires going clear back to 2003 when they sent shit to me. And I sniffed it out as being a fraud. But here, 80-some people fell prey to it.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are good. They use emotions to hook you, slather in a little Jesus, religion, everything else, and boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they can't say anything, I'm under an NDA. Boy, we hear that quite a bit lately, don't we?
Exactly. That's when they run out of excuses. See, folks, and they appeal to your greed, telling you that you're going to get a higher rate only if you go to the redemption center.
Well, I hope those gurus listening to this call tonight are busy dumping out their shorts, because they're going to need it when the FBI hits their front door.
And the thing is, they're coming knocking, folks. They're coming to knock.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you see here in this particular case, where these folks had their emails monitored, their internal portal monitored, in-person meeting and phone conversations, all under surveillance. And you got gurus. And Wiley, you know this, these gurus all on they channels, they live feed, showing themselves all to the world, with their cats out on there and their pets on their streams. They want to show everybody, their kitchen tables and they're in their cars driving, and want to try to relate to the people. You done showed Joe. Don't need no face recognition now. The FBI said,
Freedom. They recorded them doing the crime and sent it out to the world, which puts it in the public domain. It's free for anybody at that point.
Yeah.
And they tell you what time they're going to do it too. Join the live stream at 7 p.m. The SEC says, okay, let me set my alarm.
That makes it easier for the FBI. Oh, exactly. I'm going to go get lunch real quick. He's on at 7.
Too easy.
Exactly. Hey, boss, I'm going to have that report for you by 8 o'clock. His live stream should be about an hour long.
But then the hubris of these people of wannabe gurus that go steal all this stuff, stand up their little clip on the internet, and just sit there from the little easy chair and pontificate and proliferate the lie.
Yep. And just repeat and parrot.
And they're everywhere.
Yep.
You can't throw a rock through Twitter without hitting 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
And there's a whole department and the SEC and FBI that all they do is monitor all these channels, monitor your calls. They monitor all this. You folks, do you don't realize that how? Just think about it. And I was talking to Goldilocks earlier about this, and we got a chuckle. how all these people that have real currency, that have currency that are going to be a part of this, these gurus and their people, they're going to go to the banks and the gurus. There's going to be the FBI. They're going to be back in the corner waiting for them to walk in. Okay, put your currency over here on the desk and put your hands behind your back.
Literally.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. And he ain't getting that currency back when he does his time.
Nope.
It's gone.
They're going to claim it. It's going to go into the Federal Reserve. It's going to help to pay off the debt.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah. Not just do that, but the global debt.
Right.
The healing funds.
Yeah.
Healing funds. See, because folks, this is a lot. This is sophisticated stuff. You can't commit these felonies. You're all on these platforms. You don't remember, just think about the ignorance of these gurus to put themselves out there, just like it says in this conviction and complaint, whether they knew or were reckless in not knowing.
But sir, county law, I didn't know. We don't care.
Don't care. This is a security. Bonds are securities. Currencies are securities. It falls under the jurisdiction of the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is regular. This is why this is why we told you, folks. Just imagine if anybody can, with a debit or credit card, can go on the internet and buy a bond to become a billionaire. You don't think this is going to be regulated? You know how many criminals can have access to bonds if they were real that you can buy on the internet? Most people you didn't think.
My bond guy says he'll have more information on Tuesday. And then never show up.
Folks are in trouble. And folks, we didn't share this tonight this is not to hurt feelings or to piss anyone off or to put anyone on blast. This is really for just one of you, any one of you, like Wiley said, that will pivot and get yourself prepared because you don't have much time. Mm-hmm. Folks, those that have been following Goldilocks, Wiley, myself, and the tribe, they're way ahead of you. You are way behind. You've been waiting on. See, I know what a lot of you've been doing. You've been hearing all the bank stories, all the folks with the wealth managers, all on YouTube, all in the Goldilocks QFS dialogue. You've been watching, but you've been saying to yourself, they stupid. I'm gonna wait my notification and go to my redemption center and redeem my bonds because my favorite guru said so. Now you see you've been waiting and waiting. Mm-hmm. Now for what the SEC calls a sham. Go ahead, Walter.
Why these gurus all talk about bank stories now? When they say banks can't do it, you got to go to a redemption center. Why are they all big old banks now? I wish they would pick a lane. I seriously would.
Pick a line, stick with it.
They can turn faster than a rabbit being chased. I mean, my God, it's just like you guys pivot so fast with your lies and people just swing right there with you. And no one bothers to ask. But secondly, if people have bought bonds, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble with the law at all. The person who sold it to you is in trouble with the law, and they need to be held to account. Email the SEC.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
File a complaint. That's the only way you're going to get restitution and get these people to stop.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. And guys, this isn't only about you guys as victims. These are people's parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. These are people who are more gullible than the average person that have been scammed by the thousands. So no, we don't do this to be messy or petty or anything. This is righteous vengeance. We're helping balance the scales of what has been going on for 15, 20 years.
Long time, Peculiar. Long time.
And folks, I'm going to remind you, Wiley's going to drop another bombshell for many of your favorite gurus that I'm sure, I know you done bought bonds from. I know for sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one in particular and two for show that are sold bonds all on Telegram and all over the place.
Oh, I'm going to list up his buddies, including his so-called dragon elder. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. Folks, like I told you, we ain't got to the good part yet. If you don't mind, Wally, I want to bring in some of the folks that reviewed this real quick, and then we'll come right back to you, and you can drop your other bombshell. And oh my God, folks, what Wally's going to drop. Oh, I can't wait. That's the good part.
Scramble.
You want me to drop it while we're on the live? Because I'll do that.
Let's While we're on the live.
Get your questions done, and I'll get it queued up.
Okay. All right. Glass half full. If you can come on back, my beautiful lady.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Now, I would love to hear your take.
Well, I mean, if this wasn't such a sad situation, I laughed all evening. And
I wonder why.
Wiley, your Jim Jones one just sent my neighbors. I probably woke them up, but I counted over. I think over 20 times that the redemption thing was mentioned in this complaint. And, I almost was looking for the dumpster behind the Piggly Wiggly, because it was just so ridiculous that, I don't know. It's just, it's people, please. This is serious stuff. And if you know anyone that's been taken advantage of, please, as Wiley said, there's some action that should be taken. So, yeah. So,
and the hotline is there, folks. Like Wally said, right to the email and telephone number to the SEC. If you've been scammed by purchasing these fake historical bonds, it's not AI. If you want to find out, contact the telephone number or the email or the SEC. That's fun. I'm glad you told me that, because you ran folks talking about AI. But glass half full. Hear that? Y'all hear? Button press. I'm a guru. I'll delete.
Drop off the call.
Got out there each watch Clint.
Oh goodness.
Late. Already too late.
Oh, too late.
Oh, thank you, love. Appreciate you, glass half full.
Yep. Have a good evening, everybody.
All right, you too. Brunette Grand, we're coming to you, and then Todd Pretty, Zach Amber, Lady Unique, and the Sniper coming to you. Go ahead. Brunette Grand, you can unmute.
We got everybody.
Yeah.
Boy,
what's your tip?
You know what, Freedom? I mean, first of all, you and Wiley, we need to applaud you for bringing these big receipts up.
Receipts.
These are the most powerful ones yet. You know, they have a slogan now, these gurus. What a tangled web we wove. Now we're stuck in what we chose. So all you people out there that's been listening to this call and the last two calls, what are you going to do now? Are you going to take this seriously now? Get your wealth managers in line, follow the 8 steps, get everything in order, or what are you going to do now? I mean,
scramble.
You've got to make a choice, because what they've showed you tonight, there shouldn't be a choice. There shouldn't be a choice of who you're going to be listening to now. So get off the fence, get something done, go to the room, get your studying done, the 8 steps, get your wealth management team in order, so you'll be all prepared. Stop the nonsense of listening to these people. That's it. Stop. I'm sorry, but stop.
Brenda Graham she about to pull her belt out. She about to whoop somebody.
Glass Half Full said it is sad, but it's
Mm-hmm.
comical too. Because I read that twice too, and you go back and read. I go, what?
Mm-hmm.
There is some comical parts in there. It's just real. How? Why? How
Mm-hmm.
can
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
anybody believe this stuff? And at one
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
time I did. At one time
Mm-hmm.
I did too.
But you yourself, you're set, folks. This is Brunette Grand. She's had two different private wealth managers at her kitchen table in her home, contract signed for her currency exchange, account set up, multiple wealth managers. Now probably a little more than 6-7 months already. Even cake and danishes and cheesecake for her wealth manager didn't eat it, but coffee at her home. She never.
Hey, we still talk.
Oh, you see, and she still talks to her bankers, folks. Glass half full, Peculiar Ram, and the rest of the folks you'll hear, and everyone else you'd heard stories from. Meanwhile, you all been told to wait for a notification that is never going to come from a redemption center that doesn't even exist. All told, just to keep you coming back to their channel. And some of your favorite, I know your hearts are into these people, these gurus, because you done told your family, your friends to click on the channels, to go, they're telling the truth, they're going to be billionaires and trillionaires. That's okay. All right. Thank you, Brunette Graham. Appreciate you, beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right. Ty Too Pretty, come to the mic, please. And then Zach Amber coming to you. Lady Unique, and then Sniper, and then Wiley is going to drop this bomb on these other gurus that many of you follow. If you think what this is something that we just dropped, wait until Wiley drops what he
I
gonna drop
can't wait.
with names of your favorite gurus
Can't wait.
who are criminals, and he gonna show you the criminality. Go ahead, Top Two Pretty. You here? There you go.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone.
How you doing,
Hey,
my good
Ty.
man?
I'm
Man,
doing pretty good.
what's your take on all this, Ty? If you can share with the people.
Yes. I would say for me, most of the information was, I would say, pretty new because I never really coming into this investment. I didn't really hear all the guru stuff and all the
Right, you
redemption
came
centers
fresh.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was reading through it and was just hearing and reading and just really taking it all in, it just sounded all crazy. Like people are really falling for all of this stuff. And once again, I understand, the elderly can be very gullible, but all I can do is really just feel bad for them and pray for them. And hopefully, they get their money back or just some kind of justice regarding them.
Yeah.
But the people who was doing it, um, they're gonna get everything they deserve, honestly. Um,
Exactly.
it's quite sad. And if anybody still believes anything about redemption centers, it's been repeated over 100 times. It's even the SEC said it. It doesn't exist. It's not real. So if you go ahead and try to go to the redemption center if you want to, you're gonna be looking lost and looking crazy. Um, at
Mm-hmm.
the yeah, it's gonna be all on you. Now it's really your
Yeah.
choice now. Who you gonna listen to? You gonna
Hey,
keep being
Ty.
in
Hey,
the dark or
Bruno.
come to the light?
I want to ask them if they were able to ever make their channels public or allow people to have access to them, which we know they don't, and they do that purposely. But if there was such a way that we could, I would love for their followers and the people who listen to them to bombard them to ask them about their receipts. Where's their
That's
proof?
I'm glad
Where's
you
your
said that.
proof?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because you said
Yeah.
something that I was thinking about earlier that I totally forgot, and I'm glad you actually brought it up, folks. What I would encourage you to do. This is what Peculiar Ram. Go if you're able to reach
Yep.
your
Yeah.
gurus, ask them. And for those that see, if you all want some sort of get back, I guess I can call it that. Ask your gurus. Hey, you said redemption centers were a part. What other
Send me
redemption
something
centers?
from the FCC.
See, this is what you do. This right. This is what you do. Ask them about the redemption center. Ask them about these bars. I think we're back. Can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Looks like somebody don't want us talking about this, huh? Let's keep it going. All right. That was Todd Too Pretty.
Yeah, I had lost connection.
Okay, yeah. Me too. All right, we're back.
Okay.
All right.
They tried it, huh?
Zach and this is gonna be fun. Zach and Amber. Okay, if you can unmute, and then we'll come to you, Lady Unique, and then Sniper.
Hey.
Hey now.
Hello.
What y'all take?
Here.
Y'all so silly. I know y'all don't want. What's your take on all this? Share something with the people, maybe something that'll help them, or what's your take? Touch someone tonight.
Well, our take is about 4 years ago when we first got into this foreign currency game, we fell victim to the guru foo-foo, okay? We was in the mindset of we was going to have to get our soul scanned at the redemption center. Jack had to wait outside while I was inside exchanging my funds and presenting my humanitarian project, okay? We were on that level, okay? We bought stacks of Zim yellow dragons and purple dragons, okay? And it stacks, excuse me. And it took until we found Seeds of Wisdom and we found Freedom and discovered the ISO list. And once we saw the receipt of the ISO list, we saw Zim that it was discontinued years ago.
Government don't even recognize it.
Don't even recognize it at all.
Just like Germany doesn't recognize them fake German bonds, and just like China doesn't recognize your favorite yellow dragons.
Yes.
No, just kidding.
And a whole bunch of them still look.
Yeah.
Yes. And we discovered that they were bad, and luckily we discovered in enough time for us to have diversified our portfolio more, so we were able to get the other currencies stacked up.
And basically we pivoted and recuperated that loss. Just called a quick audible, but lesson learned.
Lesson learned. And so
But
we
now-
say, oh, what now? Just please, just stop with the guru foo-foo, stop believing in it, and go ahead, look at that ISO list and get the currencies now before it's too late that are actually on the list.
Do your due diligence, people.
Yes.
I cannot stress enough. Go to ISO 4217. If you don't believe it, at least go look for yourself. Do yourself that solid, please.
And you two are set, sorted with your accounts, with your bankers, completely set. You just imagine.
Yeah.
You got your debit cards for when you exchange your funds. You have access to your money right away. Just imagine if you were waiting for a notification that will never come to go to a redemption center that even the SEC and FBI says doesn't exist.
I don't want to imagine that because it's like a nightmare. It's not being prepared.
I'll be waiting for you in the back alley at the dumpster behind the Piggly
There you go.
Okay.
My man.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate y'all.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. Lady Unique, come to the mic, please, and then we'll come to you, Sniper, and then Wiley is going to drop his bomb. Go ahead, Lady Unique. I think I see you. There you go. You can unmute, young lady.
Well, good evening.
Uh-oh, she said that with her chest out. You hear that? She said she put some bass in her voice. Is this Lady Unique or Mr. Unique? I don't know who this is.
No, strictly lady here, baby. Strictly lady.
She's the staff sergeant tonight.
Staff sergeant. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Good.
I want to say this here. Brene Graham, like my girl said, this is a receipt. But look here, folks that just don't get it, here's your notification.
Oh, yes.
Here's your redemption center.
I know that's right.
Okay? Take this information. Quit trying to, your ego might have been hurt. You might say, dang, I've been made a fool. Oh, hell no. Not me. Yes, you. It was all of us. That's why the tribe is together, knowing, understanding, was given knowledge and true guidance. Not all this, my boots on the ground, my disc. I've been there. We all been there. I got tired of them boots. And I got tired of hearing next week. The elder said this. The Chinese like the eighth. Yada, yada, yada. Look here. The information is in front of us right now. You hear about us talk about the 8 steps? Don't just do them. Read them. Understand them. I will say this. Time might be a little short. So just trying to say, oh, I got this and I got that and I got that. No, take the time to get it together. Take a day off and focus on what is in front of you. If you got them ding dang, what they call them, bonds, pay attention to what's been shared with you tonight.
Please.
Do that, follow that email. If you still, it's right there in front of you. There's the email that you can email them directly.
Yep.
And get some response. Don't want to email? Pick up the phone. Take care of you and yours.
Pick up the phone and be like, such and such guru told me to buy this historical bond. Is it true?
Look, they about to have some names when Diwali drop it, so they'll be able to specify who said what.
Oh, now, no. Dragon is a dragon. He ain't no bond. All right? So, people, get it together. Because, like I said, point blank period. Here's your notification, and here's your redemption center.
That's right.
Because Goldilocks, Freedom Fighter, and Uncle Wiley, come on. Come on.
Thank you,
it's right here for you. Get it.
Appreciate you so much. Yes, indeed.
I would say this is your redeeming phone call.
Hello.
Yep. All right, let's get Sniper in here, and we'll bring Wiley on, and we'll get her. Sniper, come on in here, young man.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. If I could have about 3 minutes total, because there's a lot I need to say, and I really want to kind of break it down. And I'll be honest with you, we're in week 4 of how to catch a scammer, and I mean that.
Yeah.
We started off in week 1 on ISO codes. That's 4217. We went through every single code, then went through from A to Z that talked about real digital codes that are tagged to countries on their physical monetary exchanges of what they have as a code. That's an ISO 4217. That's everything that's recognized by the Bank of International Settlements, recognized by the Federal Reserve, that's recognized by the IMF, by every major institution that's recognized in ISO 4217. Then we jump to what's called, in week 2, historical bond frauds. We jumped in what's done by the Office of Inspector Generals. And we went through and we talked about what's done by the OIG Treasury. We talked about what's done through the Treasury Direct. We went in and then continued to talk about what's done by the Federal Reserve of Bank of New York. Then we jumped to litigation, that was done in 2017 by the SEC about yellow dragon bonds. Then we moved on to, our famous gurus that talked about bonds that would pay you millions, if not billions of dollars. And we jumped into, we went into the ZWL that talked about the Zim bond. And we know that every guru on the platforms on any internet site has talked about. What do they all talked about? Zim bonds, or they talked about this bond or that bond or this bond. Somebody that's going to pay this little bit of amount and come see me, and we're going to pay you. We put a face to the name in these here today on week number 4. The SEC has filed a lawsuit. And they didn't only file a lawsuit, they talked about people that were able to receive commission, 5% for everybody they brung in. We talked about people that were able to split up 3 ways. 3 ways. There was one person that split up $910,000 that they split up 3 ways to 3 different people in a criminal enterprise. Listen to me, a criminal enterprise.
Okay. That's exactly what it is.
If you do not, everything that you want to ever know about any part of these historical bonds and anything that's going on with these people that have talked about you being able to work with them and they have the inside source, has all been tied to what's involved in this SEC lawsuit. Every single part. Every one of these guys has come to you and sat online and any part of any platform and it sat there and said that they have their inside source has lied to you based off what's in this SEC lawsuit. I can guarantee you, if you listen to any one of them, you'll go back in this lawsuit of 32 pages and be able to pinpoint something that resonates with you on what it was. I don't listen to the names, don't listen to what it says. Listen to the context.
Yes. The language.
The language that's there, you will see it. They're all frauds. And I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that goes for elderly people, I got a grandmother, you got a grandmother, you got a grandfather, you got an auntie, you got a mother, you got a sister, you got a cousin. These scumbags have went after them and scammed them for the money. You got people that went after them and took their last. 80% of people that are involved in this process right now are elderly people.
Or elderly. Yep.
And if that does not infuriate you, I don't know what else to say.
Hey, Mike, and just in this one lawsuit, they scammed. I mean, they were able to get millions just from this one case. Millions from people.
Almost 4 million.
And there's hundreds of other cases. So yes, this anger is justified righteously by those who understand and know that it really is a battle of good and evil. And these people are not working for Jesus and God and the Galactic Federation and Archangel Michael and all these people. They are not. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. These are the exact people the Bible warned you about. Use your discernment.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely agree.
Thank you, Sniper. Appreciate you, man.
Sniper.
Thank you. Wiley, you ready? Come on, to drop this mega bomb.
Yeah, let me drop over there and see if I can broadcast it here real quick.
Okay.
Okay, there's the first half.
Okay.
I advise everybody to read every word of that.
Ooh. There we go.
Ooh. Bureau of Central Interpol. This is the international police, folks, that does investigations globally. There is, folks, for those of you who want to read, Wiley has dropped this, including the names of your favorite intel providers.
Get your lawyers. There's their names right there. Go to work, folks.
There we go.
Go to work. And he dropped the links for the federal court cases for each of them, and a link to go check it for yourself. And it's not AI.
And just for the record, I'm not saying things about these people. These are their own federal files. I'll let them speak for themselves.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. All right. Here it is. Anything
Great
else you want
job,
to add?
Freedom.
Well,
Great
thank you,
job,
man.
Peculiar.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yep.
this was long overdue for some folks. I hope it's
Yep.
helped some of the elderly that have been conned. I
Yep.
hope people go file these reports. So if there is
Yep.
any monies in these people's accounts, there is some kind of a restitution.
Yep.
People are on hard times.
Yep.
And it's
Yes,
emotionally
absolutely.
damaging to hear, oh, you're going to be rich tomorrow. Nope, tomorrow. Oh, they kicked the can. It's this Thursday. No, they moved it to Tuesday. No, wait a minute. Trump don't want you to have it. It's going to be the next 3-day weekend, and he'll
Hmm.
be out of town over in another country, which means they're going to go because he signed a tariff agreement. Oh, let me tell you all about tariffs because I became an expert. I mean, my God, these guys can pivot so fast.
Mm-hmm. 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 Wow.
But yeah, I'm ready to get back to normal business next week if we
Yeah.
can. A lot to
Yep.
talk about, a
No,
lot to happen. And
absolutely.
Goldilocks has got
Absolutely.
some good stuff that's piling up that we really need to
Yep.
get to the people.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, you
All right,
guys
beautiful
have
folks.
saved hopefully some lives tonight, Wally and Freedom. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much.
Very
Yeah.
welcome. Very welcome.
But we're already
All
not
right.
popular, so we're okay with that badge of
Yeah.
honor.
Yeah, we're
But you
used to
know
it.
what? Y'all got me, so it don't even matter.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's true. That's true.
All right.
All
Everyone,
right.
enjoy your night. I hope this has brought some sort of understanding to each and every one of you. Do what you need to do to get yourselves prepared for this blessing. Everyone have a good night. We all love you. Take care.
Good
Ciao.
night.
Good night.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance to get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.